Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am honored to welcome you here. So, I had all this prepared, and it's like life happens, and that's why we're here showing up in this book, Revolutionary Icons. I'm Lisa. I'm the founder of Natural State Life Coaching, and I am beyond thrilled to work in this community and to share and learn about these women and read the chapters that you guys are writing. This is a worldwide event, and so the chapter I wrote is deeply personal, which is different than my other chapters in the previous books. For some reason, this is my fourth book, and each one is so unique and so different, and I think it's so moving to be a part of something so based in community, but also writing your own independent chapter. So anyways, the chapter I wrote is more personal than before when I participated, and each time was amazing. This time, it goes back 5 generations of my family, and I called it The Root and the Flame, a Mississippi Choctaw Reclamation. And this is in the bloodline that I learned about through a little self homework assignment I gave to myself. And I found the bloodline of my ancestors, Elizabeth Betty Thompson Simmons, and her nephew that I didn't know about. I was studying one side of the family line and learned then about her nephew, William Clyde Thompson. So he would be a great uncle up my lineage tree in that respect. But their lives were a masterclass of learning about resilience, and it brought me to realize where I come from. And they walked through really intense historical displacement from Mississippi to Alabama, then to Texas, then to Oklahoma. And they fought tirelessly their entire lives to protect their tribal identity of being a Mississippi Choctaw, and specifically the Yowani tribe that branched off and lived in Texas and then migrated to Oklahoma in the early 1900s. So this goes all the way back to the early 1800s, when they were trying to maintain their family, and the world around them was shifting, and it was violent and it was scary, and they persevered. And so I came all upon this information just through a discovery process, and that's what it is to be an author. Is when I sat down to really write this chapter, I knew I wasn't just writing like a little glimpse of my story, but I was carrying the torch of my great uncle and my great grandmother, Betty. I really felt like I was carrying the torch forward, and the core reason, or the deleted scene really that isn't in this chapter, is connected to all the immense hardships that they went through. They were connected to earth, but also to their community, and they had this internal compass. And I really found that was true for me as well. Like that, I believe true health is not just about what we eat or what our pedometer says on our smartwatch. It's about reclaiming our personal power, or our sovereignty, which was my second book, which is sold out. Actually, it's not back there. But sovereignty and returning to our natural state of wellness. And, to have this inner compass, it takes great, perseverance to go through something like that. I mean, I don't even know if I could get into a wagon and a horse and get from one state to the other at all, and let alone they did it and survived and continued on the family lineage. So I guess when you write a book, right, you have, and if you haven't and you're thinking about it, I highly encourage that you reach out to Shannon with Kiva Publishing and, or just write your book. You can reach out to us, any of the authors in the book. We're happy to encourage you. I'm happy to encourage you. I know that it's inspirational, but you always have to leave some parts out, right? Like there's editing. So what didn't make it into the very final edit of my chapter was the legal and spiritual battle that William Clyde Thompson faced. And there's a historical article, a newspaper article that I found that he wrote, and it describes what he went through. He's also on Wikipedia. You can look him up. He fought for his people's rightful recognition all the way to the United States Supreme Court, and he won. He won for 72 Choctaw Native Americans in his tribe, as well as the whole family lineage forward, to be claimed and not denied on any of the Dawes rolls. And so as I researched that, deleted scene from our history in our family, it started to hit me that our modern struggles, whether we're dealing with anxiety or if we're dealing with burnout at work or hormone imbalance, which is what my background is in as a nurse, they're rarely physical issues, right? They are symptoms of us forgetting who we are at our core. And we've just been conditioned in this society to live disconnected from nature and disconnected from our community. So if we can reclaim our inherited sovereignty and learn about our genealogy and our background, there's a spiritual message that comes through. And this chapter is our invitation to remember that we can reconnect to who we really are and learn more about that. And so blending the science, right? So that just brought me to the heart of the work I do daily for clients and, everyone that I interface with in natural state, in the life coaching practice. My background is 20 years in the medical field, and then I was a nursing instructor, and I never dreamed that I would write a book like this or a chapter in a book like this. And science can't heal a wounded spirit. And that's why I believe I talk to so many students who, they told me about this in their culture from, Ecuador and Mexico and just anywhere in South America. They have this cultural belief system. And I realized that that was also in my lineage. And I figured out why I felt so displaced, if that makes sense, because I thought I was Cherokee my whole life, and I find out that no, I have ancestors and I'm Mississippi Choctaw. So this is why my practice is just I want to bridge that gap for women, and I want to blend the science of nutrition and the herbs that we use back to where we came from and what they were doing, and how that cosmic connection and that cosmic spirit can be, remembered, basically. So to do this, I use the MEPS model, and that just stands for mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual wellness. So if you only treat the physical body, obviously there's going to be a disconnect with the spirit. And so we are throwing away the 12-month calendar. It was in the garbage a long time ago. So instead, we honor the 13 moon calendar and the framework of the natural 13 moons. Every year, every 2.5 years, we have 13 moons, but this year we have 13 moons, and that's this month that we have that 13th moon, and it's happening right now with this book launch. So it is a natural landscape that we are just dropping into here. And, we want to activate our health in a different way from the inside out, using these real techniques, the emotional clearing and the frequency alignment, and understanding what to grow in the garden, right? This time of year. So I don't want you just to listen to these words today and just be like, that's so great, Lisa. No, I want you to feel them. So I am dropping a little practice session right now for you, where I want you to know that your body is not a machine to be fixed, and it is a natural being of divine light to be cared for. And if you are feeling exhausted or living from the outside in, then let's just take a moment to flip that together. So because we're at the end of May, we're transitioning through a very sacred time. I get so excited on the Choctaw calendar. So this is the mulberry moon and the blackberry moon in some traditions. So in your kitchen, the challenge is to bring the berries and the mulberry moon into the physical body by baking some type of bread, and then maybe with corn, like a cornbread, and putting sweet berries into the batter. And then in your cup of tea, you can brew some red raspberry leaf with some peppermint, maybe from your yard. And it is packed with vitamins, by the way, that support bone health and balance the female reproductive systems. So while your tea steeps, you can just close your eyes, come back to this video, and join me in this little grounding ancestral ceremony session, grounding practice. So we're going to place our feet on the floor. Just take a deep, slow breath in your nose and let it go. Very good. And just imagine that your roots are pressing down through the floorboards, straight into the deep, rich soil of Mother Earth. And in your mind's eye, you can just visualize a beautiful, warm, safe fire gently in front of you, feeling the warmth radiating around your skin, melting away any anxieties or tension, deadlines. Feels like you're camping, you're free. And then just look across the glowing embers and see the faces of your ancestors who walked before you so that you could stand in this spot today, in this place today. And just visualize if you have a great-grandmother or great-great-great-grandfather way back in the line, and what vision that they held for us in this timeline, holding the unbroken sovereignty of our people. And just take that slow, deep breath and just gaze into their eyes across the fire and realize that they are not gone, that their DNA, that their resilience and their unshakable strength are fully alive inside your very cells right now. And just feel that wave of calm wash over your shoulders as they remind you you do not have to carry the weight of the world alone, because you are the answered prayer of 1,000 generations. And just breathe into that ancestral power deeply into your lungs and gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Just open your eyes and step back into your body fully. And just stretch. Take a moment. Bring your energy back to this space. It feels so good sometimes to just tap in. So when you live in alignment with your ancestors and the earth, your physical health, your wellness becomes effortless. If you are ready to learn more about this, then I invite you to check out our book launch and all of the chapters, all of the authors. Check out our websites. Book a little call with me. I do a 13 moons call. And let's just see what your body looks like in the natural state of health that it wants to be in. So thank you all so much for celebrating this book launch party. Please make sure to click the link below and to subscribe to Kiva Publishing with us so you get all the videos, all the updates. You can catch all of the incredible authors. I can't wait to see all the videos and the upcoming summit. So share the love, share this video out, and just remember to tag away your friends, because it's only a few more hours until the book launch. And so the Kindle version comes out first. It's $1. I highly recommend you get that. And the paperback comes out in a couple weeks. So we'll be doing some amazing updates here in our YouTube channel and all of the things with the Author Summit. Some really special master classes, I have a feeling. So again, just know that each woman is on a unique journey, and that I honor that. I honor your journey, and I know that the ancestors are with us in this whole momentous event. And so continuous blessings to you all. And I say Yakoke, which is thank you in Choctaw. And I'm gonna go make a cup of raspberry leaf tea now. So I'll see you guys soon. Aho.